Best of Unsportsmanlike with Evan, Canty, and Michelle on ESPN Radio. ESPN Radio's NFL Rankum of the top 5 fan bases.
You can't deny the power of Eagles fans.
The Detroit Lions.
Good one.
Jets. J-E-T-S. Jets.
Come on.
To the top 5 defenses.
It's the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Philadelphia Eagles.
This season, it's going to be the Houston Texans.
And everything in between. This is ESPN Radio's NFL Rankum. Top 5 players with the most pressure.
ESPN Radio Rank 'em. Top 5 players, most pressure. We do it now. Thanks to ZipRecruiter. If you need to hire for your business in 2025 and want an easier way to find qualified candidates, use ZipRecruiter. Try it free, ZipRecruiter.com/USL. So, as I set this up, ladies and gentlemen, let me just be clear on this. I don't believe non-quarterbacks have pressure that would even put them close to a top 5 ranking. I also, as I define pressure, I define it as the individual, the quarterback that I am going to give you, or the player that I'm going to give you, has something tangible to lose as a result of a poor season or a poor performance or finish or whatever it may be. So here we go. Number 5 on the list.
Number 5.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers. What does he have to lose? His job after the season, that he would be done. If he does not have a good season this year, if they do not have a winning record, Aaron Rodgers would no longer be a quarterback in the NFL. And while I fought it for a lot of last year, that when CeCe said Aaron Rodgers has a chance to be remembered more for the Jets than he does the Packers, I thought that was crazy. And then as the season progressed, it felt like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers could be remembered more for the Jets than the Packers. His legacy, to separate, and maybe a little bit of nuance with this, when you think about the Aaron Rodgers legacy on the field, it's as a Packer, a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players to ever play. What we would remember if they go 8-9 or worse would be what in the world happened at the end. He didn't want to be in Green Bay. He wanted out after a losing season. He goes to the Jets, 2 losing seasons, obviously one of them banged up, and then he would go to Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin would potentially have his first losing season ever. That would be in our short-term memory. Long-term memory, Packers. Short-term memory, this. Something to lose. Aaron Rodgers, pressure's on this year.
You said that he could lose his job next year. Can a guy lose his job when he already came out and said that this is probably his last year? He's already said that this is the end, so said job is not in question. He's in control of that.
I say yes, Smalls, because what if they go 11-6 and they win a playoff game? He's not coming back? I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he would. I think he would be like, wow, I like it here. I like playing for that guy. I like this group. I like the way in which, like Green Bay, your squad, where they just focus on football here.
Or is it just what you said, where he proved that he could go somewhere and still be successful, and that's the end? That's the cherry on top for him. He's changed the narrative around him in the Jets era.
Fair. I don't go out on a bad note.
Correct.
I go out on I still got it, and I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to go to California and hide from everybody.
Right.
Now the rest of my life. All right. Number 4.
Number 4.
All right, this one may feel a little bit odd, but I think you got to hear me out on this. When I talk about pressure and I talk about losing something, number 4 on my list is Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns. Here's why. Shedeur Sanders inexplicably was drafted in the 5th round. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. Every single team in the NFL passed on him multiple times, including the team that he's on. So much so the team that he's on in Cleveland actually took another quarterback in the 3rd round in Dylan Gabriel before they took him. If you think about it logically, the Cleveland Browns gave up their 1st-round pick this year, moved down, in order to give the Jaguars an opportunity to draft Travis Hunter. And by doing so, they picked up a 2nd first-round pick in 2026, which means if they don't have their quarterback of the future now, they have an amazing chance at it later. And if Shedeur Sanders is not their quarterback of the future now, I don't think he has a later with them. I think they probably move on from him. And considering how many times teams passed on him, I don't know that he's going to get picked up by anyone as a starting quarterback in this league, unfortunately. So it's not fair, but it's true. The pressure is on Shedeur Sanders to be the long-term answer for Cleveland right now.
Yeah, there's no question about that in my mind. Because of the pedigree, because of how he came into the league, I think there's a ton of pressure on Shedeur Sanders to earn it the hard way, and he doesn't have a whole lot of time to do it. With a lot of young quarterbacks, they get a lot of opportunities over several years in order to prove that they can be a starter in this league. But because of the shadow that Shedeur Sanders casts, because of who his dad is, because of what he's been able to do in college football, I think it'd be tough for an NFL franchise to be able to absorb that type of attention, that type of personality in a backup quarterback role. So for all of the reasons that Evan Cohen just spelled out, I absolutely agree with him that Shedeur Sanders is under a ton of pressure to show and prove as a rookie.
What if he's not that good? What if there's a reason why he was drafted there?
If he's not that good, then he's not going to be in the league very long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we keep saying that his dad, his last name, the attention is the reason why he slid. Guys who had a lot of attention and positive and negative headlines surrounding them got drafted in the first round. Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow. Like, teams have taken a risk on players that bring attention before, and they didn't fall because of that. What if he's just not that good, you guys?
Well, Tim Tebow couldn't throw, so there's a problem there. And Johnny Manziel self-destructed when he got to the NFL.
But I'm saying teams still took a risk on them bringing in the attention.
Sure, I'm not disputing that. I guess my whole point is that Shedeur Sanders doesn't have the off-the-field bags that Johnny Manziel did, and Shedeur Sanders can objectively throw a football better than Tim Tebow did. But it still doesn't change the fact that he is a larger-than-life personality. He is somebody that generates incredible interest. He is a celebrity. And to say that about a player that has proven nothing at the next level gives a lot of organizations pause when it comes to potentially bringing them in as a backup quarterback. It's kind of like what we said with Cam Newton and why teams couldn't bring him in as a backup quarterback because he was too much of a celebrity. He was too big of a figure. Well, the same logic applies to Shedeur Sanders, even though he's not nearly as accomplished as Cam Newton was.
So I guess the smallest, in this case, how I'll do this, I think normally a fifth-round rookie quarterback for the 4 years that he is drafted, that they have him under contract, is constantly auditioning for one of three jobs. First string, second string, third string. At any point during those 4 years, that would be considered a good pick. If a fifth-round quarterback is on the depth chart for 4 straight years, that's a good pick. Shedeur Sanders is auditioning for QB1 for 2 years, and that's all he's got. That's the difference. He's not. Dylan Gabriel is auditioning for 1, 2, or 3 for the next 4 years while he's under contract. Shedeur doesn't have the same audition, so to speak.
Let me ask you this question. What is the most interesting thing about the Cleveland Browns this year?
Who's going to be their quarterback?
But why? If Shedeur Sanders wasn't in that quarterback room, would the quarterback competition in Cleveland be nearly as interesting?
No.
Exactly. And that's why franchises would be reticent to bring him in as a backup quarterback if things don't work out for Shedeur in Cleveland.
Next one.
Number 3.
So Bryce Young is my number 3 quarterback in terms of the pressure, number 3 player in terms of the pressure. Why is that? Well, Bryce Young had an uneven rookie year. His second year, he gets benched and then brought back, and he looks much better at the end of the season. There, rightfully so, is high hope for Bryce Young. Dave Canales, their head coach, did a great job working with Baker Mayfield in Tampa, Russell Wilson in Seattle, and now seemingly is on that same track with Bryce Young in Carolina. But that said, there are more bad games than good games. We're anticipating good games, but if the bad games pop up and he is not what we think he can be, there is a chance that Bryce Young one day is good in this league, but more likely than not, it would not be with Carolina. This year, his contract cap hit, $10.3 million, dead cap, $22. Next year, it's even across the board. It's about $12 million. It would cost the same to keep him as it would to get rid of him, and thus I think that he is playing for a long-term future in Carolina, and if it's not good this year, then he may have a chance somewhere else, but it's not going to be with the team that drafted him, and he's going to be looked at as a first-round bust.
Well, here's the worst thing to happen to Bryce Young. The second half of last year. And why I say that is because there is zero question right now whether or not Dave Canales can do the job of being a head coach. The way that he handled Bryce Young's benching at the beginning of the season and then being able to get him to bounce back and play better football and the team overall to have success, especially in closely contested games, the Carolina Panthers have eliminated the question mark of head coach. And now that head coach is no longer viewed as an impediment to the team's success, the quarterback is front and center in terms of being able to get them to where they want to go. He was the number 1 overall pick in a year where they could have had C.J. Stroud, who's been to the playoffs 2 years in a row, won a playoff game 2 years in a row. If the Carolina Panthers don't at least flirt with a playoff spot, if the Carolina Panthers don't have a winning record, then all of a sudden I think there are some serious question marks about their path forward with Bryce Young as their starting quarterback.
And thus, the something to lose right there. All right, so we have 3 of them off the board. We have Aaron Rodgers, Shedeur Sanders, Bryce Young. Number 2.
Number 2.
Another number 1 overall pick, and this time it's Kyler Murray in Arizona. His contract basically evens out after this season in terms of the cost of him on the team versus off the team. We understand that Kyler Murray is an all-time great athlete, not just a good athlete, literally an all-time great athlete. Yeah. Number 1 pick overall in football, number 9 overall pick in baseball. He has been in the league since 2019. Does anyone have this great Kyler Murray memory of anything he's really accomplished in terms of winning and losing and building a team up? The thing we most associate with Kyler Murray, it's unfair but it's true, is the study hall clause. Mm-hmm. That's the number 1 thing we think about when it comes to Kyler Murray. Again, not fair but true. Played in 17 games last year, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, under 70% completion percentage, under 4,000 yards. This guy is fine. He's fine as a quarterback. He's not spectacular. And to me, I look at it and say he is on his last year in Arizona, and they could do a clean sweep of getting rid of everybody if this doesn't work out.
What are your expectations for the Arizona Cardinals this year?
Nothing.
Then why would he have pressure? Why would Kyler Murray have pressure if the team has 0 expectations around them and we barely speak about them?
Well, understood, and that is a fair counter to all of this. But I do believe if somebody is drafted number 1 overall and they're living in a place like Arizona, that would be a place you'd want to live, you'd want to stay there for the long haul. And you'd want to prove that the team got it right, taking you number 1 overall. What's there to lose is the pride. Like, they drafted me number 1. They drafted me number 1 the year after they took Josh Rosen in the top 10. That's how much they believed in me. Mm-hmm. They didn't even give a guy a second year to have a chance to be a starting quarterback. And I didn't lead them to the place that I was going to, or I thought I could lead them to. I think there's pressure on him because I think there is a level of, 2, 3, 4 teams, before he potentially gets to the place of prominence again. That's number 2, and now number 1.
Number 1.
This one probably should be obvious based on something to lose. It's Tua. I think this is the last year with the Tua-Mike McDaniel combination. If they don't do something big this year, I don't see how the Dolphins continue as is. It's unfortunate for both of them, but that's the reality of it. Tua desperately wanted somebody like Mike McDaniel. He got him. He didn't want Brian Flores. The reality is Brian Flores' Dolphins career is basically the same as Mike McDaniel's Dolphins career. So, okay, you may like it more. You may enjoy the patting on the back versus the stabbing in the front, but it doesn't lead to better results. And I think that Tua, not even because of the injuries, cold weather games, you play in the AFC East, and winning big games late, and the relationship with Tyreek Hill and all the injuries at the defensive backfield, we're off to a weird start with Miami right now, but I put Tua number 1. So my list, Tua 1, Kyler Murray 2, Bryce Young 3, Shedeur Sanders 4, Aaron Rodgers 5.
How is Caleb Williams not on this list?
Because I don't believe that he loses anything if he doesn't have a good season this year. I believe they're going to give him 2 years with Ben Johnson. That's what I believe. Could be wrong.
Are we sure Ben Johnson wants that?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure about that, but I am sure that seems to be why he took the job.
But there's a quarterback-rich draft coming up, and normally your head coach, they would rather have their guy that they choose, a la Sean Payton, as Russ versus Bo Nix, than a guy that you inherit.
So now I'm at the earliest of year 3 of Ben Johnson's tenure before he goes to the playoffs. More likely than not. I understand that Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix did what they did. I get it. But to be safe, you're at year 3 of your tenure before you go to the playoffs. Now your job's potentially on the line. That's where the risk comes in. That's why I think you took this job, because you believe in Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but if Caleb Williams doesn't make strides this year, if the Bears follow up last year with another double-digit loss season, how in the hell can you have confidence if you're Ben Johnson that this is your guy moving forward?
Understood. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. The player in the NFL you believe has the most pressure on them this year is, I give you my list, CC and Smalls will give you theirs. You get yours in as well at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
We are on September 2nd moving to ESPN Radio, which is also my roots, I'm proud to say.
The return of Rich Eisen.
To be able to go back to where my career started was something that I never thought possible.
September 2nd, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. Coming coming September 2nd to ESPN Radio. The Rich Eisen Show.
Spencer Rattler. Good to see you, Spencer. How are you?
Good to see you. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Let's bring on the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, Terry Francona. How you doing, Terry? Good to see you.
Rich, great to see you.
The Rich Eisen Show.
One of the best pass rushers in the business, Josh Hines Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Rich Eisen, coming September 2nd. Weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. This is Freddie and Harry.
Terrence in Minnesota.
I was about 13 years old, the last in my family to get a Jerry curl. Me and my partners, we playing pickup. I throw an overhead pass, and curl activator ended up all over the ball. Slipped out my partner's hand, hit him in the face. I'm like, what happened? He was like, man, the ball is slippery.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
We're definitely going to be late for kickoff. We should be at the game by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I've got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple of towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We missed tailgating because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas. Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the whole first quarter.
Football fans, download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FOOTBALL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FOOTBALL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FOOTBALL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code FOOTBALL.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Give your home a fresh, updated look with Pittsburgh's exterior paint. Ultra is a paint and primer in one that provides excellent height and coverage, and it can be tinted to create thousands of color options. View our entire selection of Pittsburgh's exterior paint today on Menards.com. Plus, view our weekly flyer and check out all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey friends, I'm Tom Waddle and I drive a Hawk. Find your next car at hawkauto.com. Choose from 12 Hawk Auto locations at Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 big brands. Save with 0% financing or make no payments for 90 days. Plus save even more with our complimentary maintenance plan. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
hawkauto.com.
Financing and plan on select models with approved credit.
Sports icon and equality champion Billie Jean King shatters glass ceilings on and off the court in the world premiere play Billie Jean at Chicago Shakespeare Theater. Performances begin July 18. Tickets at chicagoshakes.com.
Our local hospitals are the heartbeat of our communities, delivering critical care every hour of every day for everyone, training the next generation of caregivers. Beyond the walls, their benefit to the community is everywhere, driving the local economy and supporting local organizations, initiatives, and neighbors. Illinois Hospitals, healing communities. Learn more at team-iha.org. Sponsored by the Illinois Health and Hospital Association. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's an app for that. Download. Listen live. Podcasts on demand. The ESPN Chicago app.
This is the best of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Canty and Michelle on ESPN Radio.
We are Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance. ESPN Radio Rank 'em series today. We do the players with the most pressure on them. I was given the opportunity to provide a top 5 list. Mine was Tua 1, Kyler Murray 2, Bryce Young 3, Shedeur Sanders 4, and Aaron Rodgers 5. Smalls, if you were to give number 1, the player with the most pressure on it, before we get to your calls here at 888-SAY-ESPN.
It has to be Caleb Williams, as far as I'm concerned, because not only does he have the pressure of living up to the number 1 overall pick, not only does he have the pressure of every failed quarterback in Chicago before him, not only does he have the pressure of getting Ben Johnson, the hottest coaching candidate out there, to be his head coach after he publicly campaigned for him, but he's got the pressure of all the other quarterbacks that the Bears passed on having success around him and him not meeting that mark. So he's got a lot of things working against him. And is it unfair that a guy heading into year 2 of his career, where his head coach got fired in year 1, that we're expecting this big leap from him, and we're talking playoffs in a really tough division? Yeah, it's probably a bit unfair. But unfortunately for Caleb Williams, he has the weight of the world on his shoulders.
CC, you're number 1?
Listen, I think Caleb Williams deserves to be top 2, but I'm not going to put Caleb Williams in front of Tua. We keep having a conversation about the opportunity costs associated with drafting Caleb Williams and how they could have had Jaden Daniels, how they could have had C.J. Stroud, so on and so forth. The Miami Dolphins could have had Jalen Hurts. The Miami Dolphins could have had Justin Herbert. They could have. They took Tua instead. A guy going into year 6 that's only had 1 season being fully healthy. A guy that's already on coach number 2, working on getting him fired. A guy that we're paying $53 million a year to. A guy that also has no problem airing out the dirty laundry as it pertains to the best player on the team in Tyreek Hill at the start of training camp. That's your king? That's your leader? Dolphins fans? This your dude? That's who you caping for? Tua is front and center when it comes to the pressure conversation in 2025. Make no mistake about it. And I think if he doesn't have the season that is representative of the pay scale, then we could be talking about a house cleaning of epic proportions down in South Beach. We talk about not only getting rid of the quarterback, but getting rid of the head coach and getting rid of the general manager. Salary cap ramifications be damned.
I would agree with you. Corey in Charlotte, listening on 7:30 The Game in Charlotte. Morning, Corey.
Morning. Thank you guys for taking my call. For me, this is just personal. I would have to say Drake May. I'm a Patriots fan. It's been a standard there in New England. So I need to see that work ethic that 12 gave us for 20-plus years. Now, I'm not asking him to give us 6 Super Bowls. I don't think that'll ever be duplicated. But I just need to see that it factor that we have hope that we can at least get one. We can at least get one, and like I said, it's been a while since we've been in the playoffs. I think we got a really good team. We got Mike Vrabel. I think we got some good pieces for him, what he can work with. But this needs to be the year we see that stride to be one of them top 5 quarterbacks.
As a Patriots fan, I'd be absolutely stunned if Drake May didn't show development this year. Stunned.
Top 5 quarterback?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm not expecting that.
Josh McDaniels is one of the greatest offensive coordinators in the history of the NFL. He is going to work with him in a way that is going to be phenomenal, I think. And Vrabel's awesome. Vrabel is awesome as a head coach. And so I'd be stunned if the development of Drake May was not there. Emilio in Virginia, listening on the ESPN app, joins us here on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance. The player with the most pressure this year is?
That'll be Trevor Lawrence. This guy get away with everything year after year. It has to be Trevor Lawrence, guys. Let's do it.
So I strongly considered putting Trevor Lawrence on my list.
I was a bit surprised he wasn't on it.
There's a reason I didn't. When I remembered that they don't have a first-round pick this year. If they did not give up their first-round pick and there was an easier path to getting a replacement, I would absolutely have put him on that list, Smalls. But because of the fact that Travis Hunter on offense is their first-round pick this year, and on defense is their first-round pick next year, I did not have Trevor Lawrence on that list.
But we're talking about Travis Hunter being the face of the franchise now. And Trevor Lawrence was one of those can't-miss, transcendent-type prospects coming out of college. You're not supposed to have a player, even if he's as singular of a talent as Travis Hunter is, you're not supposed to draft someone else like that to be the face of your franchise and put butts in seats when you have Trevor Lawrence on your team.
I don't know if there's a penalty, but let's just say it this way. That's the penalty that Trevor Lawrence now faces. It's his team until you prove us otherwise. Or prove otherwise. Yeah.
I understand the thing you said about the draft pick.
Yeah.
They could trade Trevor Lawrence after this season and save money against their cap?
No trade clause. We learned that the hard way when we all were sitting there. I will take the hit on this.
Yes.
I was pushing him to the Steelers, and for some reason he didn't want to go to the Steelers. Or they didn't. No, actually, it doesn't seem like the Steelers called.
Sure. But if you're Trevor Lawrence, do you want to end up in the situation that Kirk Cousins finds himself in now?
I would find that hard to believe that that's going to happen because it feels like they're going to give him every opportunity.
Well, they'll give him every opportunity, but if he doesn't play well this year with Liam Cohen as his head coach, knowing what Liam Cohen did with Baker Mayfield, God's work, then all of a sudden, with those two wide receivers and Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr., with those two running backs and ETN and Tank Bigsby, with that offensive, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a good season this year, for whatever reason, including injuries, then all of a sudden now, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have to be considering an alternative at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Should Anthony Richardson be on this list?
Yeah, his NFL mortality feels like it's up there at this point.
Because I think Lamar Jackson has the most pressure on him than anyone else in the NFL because you're a 2-time, almost 3-time MVP. You have yet to break through, get to, and win a Super Bowl. Now it's time. You talk about nothing on the line. Well, are you going to be Dan Marino or are you going to be on the Peyton Manning track? Like, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
You know, at some point, you're going to have to pick a lane or we're going to put you in a lane. But when you say my parameters are you have something to lose, Anthony Richardson has to be in that conversation.
No question.
Earlier on Clinton and Friends.
Kids in America, if you're listening, impossible to overstate the cultural impact Ichiro had on the game. In many ways, it is highly appropriate, if you will, that he is the first Japanese-born player. The history and timing element aside, the way that Ichiro sort of came into the game and the type of player he was, we've never seen anything like it.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Amber and Ian.
Dylan Raiola is going to be a household name come November. The quarterback of Nebraska, he had a very solid freshman campaign. Watch out for Nebraska and Dylan Raiola. I think Nebraska could be a 9-win regular season type team, and then with a bowl win, they haven't won double digits in over a decade. In year 3 with Matt Rule, watch out. They're going to be better, but it all starts with the quarterback.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Carmen and Yurko.
Yurko's like the only guy who somehow is not putting money in Jeff Bezos' pocket.
I've never flown in his flying penises that he had. They're odd-shaped.
Yeah, they are.
Phallic-like symbols.
It's like something out of Austin Powers.
I have no want to go out of the atmosphere.
Really? To say you went
Even
to
if it was
space?
free. I don't want to go there. I'm happy on Earth.
Get Carmen and Yurko podcasts at your favorite pod place or on the ESPN Chicago app. Carmen and Yurko, weekdays noon to 3, ESPN Chicago.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The cheers, the smiles, the high fives, they make every race worth running or swimming. This Thursday is Chicago Ducky Derby Day, so stop by and say hi to Captain Jay Hood as they broadcast live from Pioneer Court. Then stick around for the big splashdown at 1 p.m. when tens of thousands of rubber ducks will race down the Chicago River, all to support Special Olympics Illinois. Help fuel the dreams of these amazing athletes and maybe win big while you're at it. Adopt your duck today at ChicagoDuckyDerby.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Courtney Cronin, the latest from Hallis Hall, and wherever Bears roam in Chicago. Be an informed fan with ESPN Chicago, brought to you by Costa Ivoni.